In our top story tonight, we are tracking Hurricane Katia. Hurricane Katia, as predicted, came a hurricane last night, and it is now currently located at 15.5 north, 47.5 west with 75-mile-per-hour winds. It is a Category 1 storm, and all cones and models indicate that this storm is going to move to the north and to the east of us. However, all likelihood, we are going to see some heavy rains coming off of this storm, so keep your preparations in order for this weekend. And if there are any changes to this storm to make note of, we will let you know here on WSVI Channel 8. We'll have more, of course, on this weather update at the end of the program. And in other news, an early morning press conference held by top officials of the United Steelworkers Union revealed some startling accusations against the Virgin Islands government and our senators. News Channel 8's Wes Small is all over the devastating 8% issue affecting government workers.
Thank you very much, Jerome. We're here at the Hotel Caravel, downtown Christiansted, around the Caravel Arcade. Early in the morning, because last night there was a packed house at Gertrude's involving a steelworkers union, United Steelworkers Union. The big guys have come down from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We'll be hearing from them shortly. But I have to tell you, the title for this is an assault on government workers. We're going to get right to it with the introduction and about what happened last night at Gertrude's.
We're not totally surprised of the actions of the government here in the Virgin Islands in terms of their response to deny our employees on the island. Well, we represent over 3,100 employees here on the island. But their response to our members who work in the government sector have been to deny our members certain monetary raises that they are entitled to under our collective bargaining relationship with the government. And what they have done is similar to situations that we see unfolding in the United States. One of the most popular ones was the situation in Wisconsin, where the governor of Wisconsin decided to balance the budget on the backs of workers that work for the state of Wisconsin. We were experiencing that same situation in states such as Ohio, Maine, North Carolina, and Indiana, and throughout the United States. So what's happening here on the Virgin Islands is consistent with governors of states, and now we find out here in the Virgin Islands of deprioritizing the commitments that they have made through the collective bargaining process and forcing the employees of the government to balance the budget on the backs of their wages and benefits.
Like I said, what about that $10,000 package? I have to tell you that it was quite a shock to hear that these are allegations by federal union representatives and our local representatives here that the VI government has reneged on several promises to their hard-working union employees. But this will devastate you. Look what happened to that proposed $10,000 deal.
We have numerous, I don't know the exact amount, but we have numerous of our members who signed an agreement with the government, and the written agreement stated that the $10,000 would be paid upon them executing the application to retire. And after they signed the agreement, then they received a letter clarifying that the $10,000 was part of the legislative package that reduced to 8%. So it's $10,000 given in one hand, $10,000 taken in the other hand. Now, what we've advised our members is that, look, if your expressed intent to retire was based upon the commitment by the government to receive this $10,000, then we feel as though they should have an opportunity to retract the agreement that they signed. The government came back after they issued the letters to our members with another form for them to sign, holding the government harmless, held harmless provisions to try to hold the government harmless against any litigation pertaining to them retiring, which our attorneys are looking at it right now. We have some concerns, and we would be arguing that for those who signed that statement, that held harmless agreement, is that do not preclude them, we would hope, from being able to recoup their $10,000 in litigation if it comes to that.
Wow, some devastating news about that $10,000 deal. And it looks like the VI government is not keeping their promises. That is going to lead to some court decisions. Let's find out what's going to happen in the future about local and federal court decisions.
Now, we are intent on, first of all, addressing this situation in the federal courts. We have a court date before a federal judge in the, I believe it's the 7th. Yeah, but I mean, I think it's the 7th federal district. Is it the 7th federal district? The 3rd federal district. We have legal counsel that is working to present the case on behalf of our members here on the Virgin Islands, and we feel pretty confident that the government of the Virgin Islands have violated federal statutes, and they have also violated some aspects of the Virgin Islands Code. So we are going to present our members' position in federal court with the sole intent of trying to recoup those aspects of their wages that was negotiated through the collective bargaining process.
We're going to do everything we can legally through the lawsuits, but at the end of the day, this is a moral question. Our workers, our members, made an agreement with this government to provide their services each and every day, to come to work and do their jobs for the citizens of this great island that St. Croix and St. Thomas and St. John's. And they've done that. We've kept our side of it. And by the actions of this legislature and the action of this government, they have breached their agreement. Our members have done what they said, and the government has not. And it's a legal question that will be handled in court, but at the end of the day, we believe it's a moral question. It's a moral for a government to make an agreement for workers to come to work and do their job, play by the rules, and then once they do that, pull the rug out from under them and say, well, we're not going to honor our side. The United Steelworkers Union will not stand for that, and we're going to stand in solidarity with our members here on the island, and we're going to do everything legally and through activism and through solidarity to make certain this doesn't stand.
How can our elected officials let this happen? What is the way to fight this politically? Let's go to this part of the interview as they talk about which senators are responsible for this travesty.
Okay, let me say, I'm not here to name any. I think we have to look in the near future to see who is running, because some of them may not come back after this fiasco. Let me put it that way. Let me say that the only thing that I'm appalled about is the fact that I'm just going to speak for steel workers. I am the staff rep, and I think the staff rep on St. Croix was ignored in any meetings with the government and the legislature. You will hear the people of the legislature and also the governor say that they spoke to the unions. They did not speak to me. Nobody sent me any formal invitation to come to any meeting to discuss any cuts, any legislation, or anything to that effect. And I would say the same thing for my counterpart in St. Thomas, Mr. Allen, because none of us been in none of these meetings, which they claimed that the union basically at that point were in meetings with them, discussed these issues, and we were left out. And let me say to you, we're gonna put up a fight, because we're not gonna stand back and allow them to do this. We signed, negotiated 3 contracts with the government in 2010. They were signed by both parties. They were signed by the governor. The governor came in January of 2011 and reneged. Let me say to you, he signed the last one in October of 2010 in order to get re-elected. Our members at that point voted for the governor. And to come back in January and slap them in the face and tell them first he is not honoring the contracts.
This is just the beginning. This battle is not over. In downtown Christiansted, I'm Wes Small for News Channel 8.
And we want to thank those United Steelworkers officials who came forward for us tonight. And the Virgin Islands Police Department now has additional information about the AK-47 wielding bandits who robbed the Sunny Isle Jewelry store recently. News Channel 8's Wes Small is with Police Chief Chris Howell.
Thank you very much, Jerome. We're at Rainbow Command. We're going to get right to it. A very busy Chief of Police, Chris Howell. And Chief, about the Cleopatra's AK-47, broad daylight 2 days ago. Chief, we understand that we have some things that perhaps could get these guys behind bars right behind you.
Right, that's correct. We have really good information concerning the robbery there at Cleopatra's, that one of the suspects was injured on one of his hands, actually left some blood on the scene. We know that he sustained that injury when he was breaking the showcases.
With a hammer. With
a hammer, correct. And so we're appealing to the public that if anybody has any information on someone that has a new injury to their hand, to come forward. It may seem like it's insignificant. A lot of times someone might get a small cut and it bleeds a lot. So even any injury to the hand or you know, below the say the elbow, please come forward with that information, because that may very well break this case wide open for us.
We believe that this individual who broke through the showcase is 5'5", solid build, stocky, could be of light complexion, could be possibly Hispanic. The other two suspects wore coveralls. All three mostly were all covered. But very important, we do not want to eliminate St. Thomas and St. John. Yes, perhaps a couple of days ago you were on the seaplane, or yesterday, or at the seaport conducting business at the seaplane, and you saw an individual with a nick in his hand or a bandage, or acting suspicious by putting it in his pocket all the time. Folks, we're giving you these leads so we can get these animals right behind the chief and I, where they belong, so they don't hurt your loved ones. So let's call 712-6037. 911 always, or Crime Stoppers, 1-800-222-TIPS, 1-800-222-8477.
Appreciate all the help, and you know, the community always comes through for us, you know. And you know, someone out there knows about this. Someone out there is going to see this report, and they're going to know exactly who we're talking about. And you know, don't hold that information back, you know, because tomorrow it could be one of your loved ones. You know, we got to get these guys off the street.
At Rainbow Command, I'm Wes Small for News Channel 8.
Thanks, Chris Howell, and keep us updated to that situation. When we come back from this break, we'll have your Caribbean report plus your lottery numbers. Stay with